one of the questions I get, well, how old do students have to be to participate in your programs? And that's a great question, because the real question is the student the primary learning force in the program, or is it the job of the parents to learn from me to how to interact with their child? And those are two different questions. We've had students as young as 7 years old. In the last couple of years, I had 2 special ed students, both 13, that I took to the Dolphin Research Center in Florida, in Grassy Key, Florida, where they have a week program where I can, if a child is certifiable special ed, I can call them and, as an instructor, bring my student down there with his parents to work 7 days with their own family of dolphins. Every morning the child is responsible for feeding the dolphin so many pounds of alewives, so many pounds of different fish, weighing it out, feeding the fish, getting in the tanks with them, swimming with them, communicating with them. And I'd have to say, for the younger students, the dolphin dives have probably been the most successful. It's successful for the student, but it's also successful for the parent, because in most of those cases, the question that comes to me from the parent is, how can I learn to have a quality interaction with my young student that's meaningful? And I try to say, well, you can't do it sitting on a couch. Sometimes you have to get up and move to prove you're still alive. And with young kids, sitting across from them just talking isn't really much of an experience. But if you're out there hiking in the woods, sailing, kayaking in the Everglades, everything that's around them is new, and they're fascinated. They're fascinated about the flora, the fauna. Everything they come upon is new, they've never seen before. So it's a panoply of different ideas that comes into their imagination that you can quite successfully use to bring discussions forward about things that are currently an issue at home where you live. And so, our oldest client was probably 76. She's going through divorce and having a great deal of difficulty, and one of the complaints she brought to me is, my husband always promised to take me to these islands and never did. And so that was a culmination of her life, was to go to certain islands and have experiences that her husband promised her that she never experienced, like kayaking, like hiking into waterfalls, or hiking in the Maroons in Jamaica, or skin diving or scuba diving off the coast of Grand Cayman, or kayaking in Belize and seeing the Great Barrier Reef there. So a lot of these trips are specifically planned to provide the client with access to an experience that they've always wanted, but they've never had. And then the question becomes, how much can that be transformational in their lives? And I'm a believer that you can change your life anytime you want, at any age. You just have to have the willingness, the desire, and the process that provides that exposure. And that's what that's what we do. It's the foundation of everything we do, is we provide the process for your success.